And hello everyone, I'm Dan 2x15 here on Xbox Live, back again for another video, and this time I'm going to be reviewing WWE Backlash 2023, and I did the review with Conor, not the review, I did the review of WrestleMania with Conor and Jaxson last time, and I did the predictions for Backlash with Conor last time. It was his first predictions, so now once again I'm joined by Conor and Jaxson for my Backlash review. I've got my phone up so that we can go through the first matches, and Jaxson, why don't you tell us what the first match was?
Alright, hello everybody. The first match that we had on the card was the Raw Women's Championship match, Bianca Belair defending against Io Sky of Damage Control. Now,
And
I felt like this match throughout the whole time was good. I mean, it felt like Io Sky is a great wrestler. It looked like she had it in the bag. I think Bianca Belair got her arm injured, so I was like, okay, it's a big possibility that Io Sky was going to win the championship. But I feel like the one thing that mainly made her lose the title match was Bayley and Dakota Kai interfering.
yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for that, because I enjoyed every last minute of the Bianca versus Io Sky match, and it wasn't
Yeah.
for the interference, because it wasn't needed, it was not worth it. And let me ask you, Conor, you said something to me before the recording about them being jobbers.
Like, basically, damage control is now basically jobber fuel for Bianca Belair until she loses the title.
Yeah. They don't. I
But
think we're gonna lead to the split up of damage control, and I think it'll be Io Sky that's gonna blame Bayley, but then Bayley will turn on Io Sky because Bayley's a really better heel than she is a babyface.
yeah. And here's the thing. Obviously, we know while Bianca Belair has been in her reign as Raw Women's Champion, Bayley has gotten an opportunity at her twice and failed. Io Sky faced her at Backlash and failed. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe this week on Raw or SmackDown when the draft is going to go into effect, Rhea and Bianca are going to do their title swap so that Bianca Belair will be SmackDown Women's Champion, and then at Night of Champions, she defends her SmackDown Women's title against Dakota Kai, since Dakota Kai is the only woman of Damage Control who hasn't gotten a fair opportunity at the title.
This is true. This is very true. So, but we're gonna move on from that, and Conor, you can tell us, remind everyone what the next match was.
I believe the next match was. Give me one moment.
He's thinking.
Uh,
And maybe we should sing his battle hymn to remind you.
no,
I think it was
don't.
Seth Rollins versus Omos.
Indeed, it was.
Oh, I have very terrible memory, Dan. I think your terrible memory is affecting me now.
Anyways, it was... Alright. Since you guys have a bad memory, I'll go first. It
Go
was
ahead.
Seth. The next match was Omos versus Seth freaking Rollins. Obviously, they both made their entrance. And of course, while Seth was in the ring, he was doing his classic pose while everyone in Puerto Rico was serenading his song. And then Omos big booted the shit out of him, knocking him across the whole ring. That pissed off Seth. So they started just going at it throughout the whole match, and obviously Seth Rollins isn't a big guy, he is a pretty small guy. And so I was like, there's no way Omos is going to break his own losing streak. But no.
Yeah, and I think, Conor, you can essentially say you was right in my predictions when we made our predictions and said that Omos was not going to win. However, I will admit, it did go longer than I thought it would.
Yeah. Because because the whole match was basically Seth Rollins trying to get Omos on his hands and knees, and then he had to hit like 2 curb stomps. He hit curb stomps from the middle rope, he hit curb stomps from the top rope, and then finally that got him the win.
Yeah, it did. What did you think of that match, Connor? Did you think it was a lot different to what you thought it was going to be? Because that certainly was the case for me. I almost did a lot more than I thought he was.
Like, I'll have to admit, in the beginning when Omos attacked Rollins, I was like, okay, that's new. Because keep in mind, I don't think anyone's attacked Seth during like his theme song entrance, where like people are singing his crowd. So I thought that was a little nice touch. And the way that Rollins won was actually surprising, and it took me back to the 2019 Royal Rumble when Rollins stomped Braun Strowman's head onto the apron.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I was getting too.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen him do the stomp off of a turnbuckle before. That wasn't a shocking way to win, but I will admit, Omos is slightly getting better, and I think that we just need that one big mega push to get him rolling again. Get rid of MVP because I know for a fact, and also bring back Shake the Ground. Anyone else miss that theme song?
Yeah, bring that back. There's
Bring
new
that
ones.
back. Yeah, it's very generic, but
I actually like Shake the Ground.
Exactly. And speaking of shaking the ground, I'm pretty sure that Bronson Reed fucking shook the goddamn ground when he did that Vader bomb off the freaking ropes onto Bobby Lashley in the next matchup. It was a triple threat match for the United States Championship as Austin Theory defended his title against Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Now, both you, me, and Jaxson, Conor, we all knew that Bronson Reed was not going to win because he was drafted to Raw. But by God, was that bump! I looked away afterwards because I thought maybe Bobby Lashley had broken his neck or something. Good grief!
Yeah, and so at the start of the match, it seemed like Bobby took out Theory, and then Bobby and Bronson were about to go at it, and that's what they did. And then when Theory finally got back in the ring, in the match, Theory and Bronson Reed formed a temporary alliance on Bobby Lashley, but then I knew that Bronson Reed was going to attack Theory. I just didn't know what he was going to do, but he frickin' ran into him.
Yes, and as Corey Graves said, it's when sometimes when you run into a brick wall, well, it was like a brick wall running into you. And I have to admit, Conor, I think we were both right. Well, I was right when we made our predictions when I said that Bronson Reed and Austin Theory were going to form an alliance.
The match was good, and I'm glad Bronson Reed had time to shine. However, I feel like I'm not happy with the winner still.
Yeah, listen, here's the thing. I'm okay with Theory retaining. Okay, so here's the thing. Obviously, the United States Championship was drafted to SmackDown, and Bronson Reed was drafted to Raw, so we all knew that he was kind of out of the book. And I knew that Bobby Lashley did not need to become United States Champion again, so I'm like, okay, it's a chance that Theory's going to retain, and I'm kind of happy with that. But the way he retained was fucking stupid as hell, because Bobby cut Bronson Reed in half with the spear, Theory threw him to the outside to get the pin, and Bobby was just a second away from saving the match. I'm okay with Theory retaining, but I'm not happy with the way he did it.
What about you, Conor? Was you a bit mad when he did that heelish tactic?
Just disappointed, and just reminded how he beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
Now here's my opinion, and you may hate me for this, and for the people watching, they might hate me for this, but I loved it, which is because, hear me out.
Of course you did.
No, hear me out. It's because I loved it when a heel has to be a heel. Because, let me ask you this, right? If Austin Theory would have just beaten John Cena at WrestleMania without hitting the low blow, would that would have been? I think personally that would have been meh. Okay, yeah, Austin Theory won.
Okay, dude, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, that was kind of did.
And the fact that Austin Theory, he's been this heel for a long time. Nobody likes him. So they want to see him get his comeuppance. They want to see him. So realistically, from a retro fan perspective, if you want a heel to get over, and you want to build that so when he does lose, you're thinking, yes, finally, he's got his comeuppance. You need him to cheat to win. So realistically, there's no disqualifications in a triple threat match anyway. So with that being said, it was a smart thinking because it's been done over the years by a dastardly heel who just takes advantage, and it was the fact that he pinned Bronson Reed, a guy that's on Monday Night Raw. So it also gives Bobby Lashley a chance to start the rivalry with Austin Theory of SmackDown again. So it plants those seeds to say, hey, you didn't pin me, I want to challenge you type of deal. Fair and square, one-on-one. Because we know that Bobby Lashley can destroy Austin Theory when it comes to one-on-one. So
Like he did at Money in the Bank.
Exactly. So it sparks the fire. It lights the fire for the feud to continue. So that's why I enjoyed it, because I'm old school, very old school.
Oh, you're old.
Very funny. But of course,
Sleepy Conor.
As you said, Conor, I am a big sip for Rhea Ripley, and so therefore I will announce the fact. In fact, you go ahead, because that's exactly what the next match was. Go ahead, Conor. Tell me how much of a simp I am.
I'm in a good mood right now. So next match was Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega for the SmackDown's Women's Championship. Which, can I just say this? We all know who was going to win the match.
Yeah, because let's face it, whenever somebody at the hometown, they are destined to lose. Even though, realistically, as the announcer said, she's from New York, as I'm presuming that she's got the heritage in Puerto Rico, but she was probably born in America. So
She lives in New York. She was born in Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay, so she moved to America. Okay, fair enough. I didn't know much to it. And, when I heard the story about her dad, I felt sorry for her a little bit. And I thought, okay, maybe she's going to win and do it to her dad. But nope, no, it wasn't the case. And I was kind of disappointed in how, don't get me wrong, I love Rhea Ripley, and, her matches have been fire lately. And ever since joining the Judgment Day, her character has changed for the better. But I was just kind of disappointed that it was just one kick, then the riptide, and then it was over. It could have gone on a little bit longer, if you ask me.
But here's the thing: when a wrestler is performing in front of their hometown, I hate it when the commentators make it seem like they have to win, and then they lose so badly. And it makes you kind of it gives you this weird feeling. I don't know.
I can agree. But what do you guys think of the ending? Do you reckon it should have been a little bit more than a kick than a riptide, or do you reckon it should have ended that a bit differently?
I feel like she could have kicked out of the riptide, tried to get back in the match, but then Rhea Ripley locked in the prism trap. And then she tried to get to the rope, but she barely. She's so close to getting to the rope, but she has to tap.
What are your thoughts, Conor?
The match should last longer, and Rhea should have. I feel like both women should at least hit their finishers at least once. But I kind of did want the match to end with Rhea being attacking Zelina Vega after the match.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, but I hate to correct you, but Zelina Vega did actually hit her finisher on Rhea Ripley. She hit the code red.
I must have missed it because I know during some point of the match I left my room to go get pizza rolls.
Yeah, she hit the code red halfway through the match, I believe.
Yeah, she did. But the
And-
pizza rolls are always worth it.
yeah, because she didn't really miss match except from Rhea kicking out.
uh,
But the next matchup is a very interesting one for me because when Bad Bunny made his debut at WrestleMania all these years ago, when he teamed up with Damian Priest, I wasn't exactly impressed because it was yet another celebrity, and I just skipped through that matchup until the end, and then I discovered that they won. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Missing out on a lot of the high-flying, great moves that Bad Bunny performed. And this match was exceptional when Bad Bunny faced Damian, his former best friend, former tag team partner, Damian Priest. Oh
And a
my
San Juan
god.
street fight. And a San Juan street fight.
It was the chef's kiss. Oh,
Bad Bunny came prepared. I didn't expect him to come out with a full shopping cart of weapons. Holy shit, he came prepared.
Man, yeah, when I saw that shopping trolley filled with raw weapons, it reminded me of Raven when he used to come down to the ring with a whole shopping trolley full of weapons, just trash can, freaking kidno sticks, steel chairs, barbed wire, baseball bats. There was even an axe handle, and I really wished he had two of them. Therefore, he could have hit him with a double axe handle.
I hate you.
You get it?
Yeah, but he also there was a weapon in there that he didn't use, but I don't know if any of you noticed. There was like a freaking metal pipe in there.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, anyways, at the start of the match, as we expected, Damian Priest kicked Bad Bunny's ass. He hit the South of Heaven. He almost got the win, but he put Bad Bunny's shoulder up. Now I feel like the Judgment Day are going to rally at Damian Priest, and Damian Priest is going to be pissed at himself because he got his ass beat when he could have gotten the win.
This is true.
But I can understand him wanting to kick Bad Bunny's ass. But here's what if he really wanted to win, this is what I could have done. He could have hit the South of Heaven off the bat. He could have gotten the win within a matter of a minute, and then he still could attack Bad Bunny even after the match. But yeah, the match was good. It didn't take too long for them to start going backstage, and then frickin' Damian Priest hit the Falcon Arrow off of some boxes through a table.
Yeah, and I must admit, Conor, you were almost right. You were almost right in my predictions because you said, and I quote, that, and I felt like Michael Cole there, but, and I quote, I would be cool to see a double knockout. When I was watching that, Conor, I thought, oh my god, Conor's going to be right.
I'm kind of glad it didn't lead to a double knockout because then because I'm pretty sure that in part of the match it led to one of my favorite parts.
And you could say that favorite parts off a little bit later on, that was cool.
What favorite part?
I swear, the second he came out, I wanted to fucking cheer so loud, but then I suddenly remembered that I have neighbors, so I had to be very quiet.
What do you guys talk about?
Well, are you serious? I mean, maybe you should go and get an apple, let me have it, so I can spit it in your face and say, hey, Jaxson.
Shut up.
You're not cool,
okay,
man.
we'll talk about that part in a bit. But anyways, we'll talk about the part in a bit. And so we had WWE officials surrounding Bad Bunny, and they thought that Bad Bunny was done, but Damian Priest said no, he isn't done because I'm not done. So he freaking carried Bad Bunny from the crowd all the way back into the ring. And then this is when things started to get really serious because, as we know, at the start of the match, Bad Bunny was getting a little bit of kendo stick shots, but Damian Priest went for the roundhouse kick, but Bad Bunny reversed, and he hit his knee/foot on the ring post, and then he really fucked it up, and then Bad Bunny's like, oh, this is my moment. He grabbed every single weapon in his shopping cart and just non-stop attack to the knee. I was like, yes, yes, do it. We've never seen Damian Priest in a situation like this. Come on. And then he literally hit his knee with the chain he was slamming into the ring post, hit it with a trash can top, chairs, candlesticks, a chain, even knocked in the figure 4.
Oh, yeah. But then, of course, it all went down south, no pun intended, and it went, and Judgment Day got involved, they started beating up Bad Bunny, and then down comes, I believe, some equalizer in Carlito.
No, it was Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio first, and he got beat down, then Carlito comes down. Oh, I popped. That was cool. I popped so hard.
I did too.
I was like, yes, see. That's yes. I was like, I wasn't literally saying see. I was saying yes, but oh my god, it was it was literally cool. And to see
and then frickin' the LWO came down, and then what was the Hall of Famer's name? I can't remember what.
To be honest, here's the thing: he's not actually a Hall of Famer yet, surprisingly. Savio Vega, WWE legend Savio Vega. Oh, he's still got it. I'm sorry, but he's still got it. I have to admit,
Why are you sorry?
No,
Don't be sorry. Yeah, you're right. He still has it.
No, it's a figure of speech, Jaxson. It's when someone's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it." So I'm not literally sorry. I'm just figure of speech. Anyway, it was amazing. He still has it, man.
I love it. And I don't know about you, but I love it when the Judgment Day are getting surrounded by the NWO, because finally the Judgment Day get something that they're not used to, the numbers game, and with a disadvantage. They were surrounding the Judgment Day, they were beating his ass, and I love how everyone just forgot Finn Balor, and just the LWO, Carlito and Rey Mysterio were just beating Dom's ass, and then here comes Daniel Vega with his move on Finn Balor.
Can I just say something there? I think even Finn Balor wasn't expecting that to happen, because even he kind of didn't, he broke character for a minute, because he pointed to Dom and then he pointed to Savio, and he was actually smiling, because when he was supposed to be angry that he's coming down, he's like, holy shit, that's Savio Vega. I don't know if anyone else noticed that.
I noticed that, and I love how Finn Balor really just said, screw Dominic, I'm leaving.
Yeah, it was an amazing spot, but in the end, the right guy won, because...
I wonder where this is gonna go. I wonder what the storyline is next for Damian Priest, because a guy like Damian Priest, we know how dominant he is. He says he's the Punisher of the Judgment Day, the Punisher of WWE, and then you have him losing to a musician in Bad Bunny, so I don't know where this is gonna even go.
I just think it'll just be a normal six-man tag team match with the LWO versus the Judgment Day. I think it's just going to be more rivalry between those two teams.
But the Judgment Day is on Raw and the LWO is on SmackDown. We'll just have to see it. But you said six-man tag team match. And speaking of six-man tag team matches, that was next as Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn took on the Bloodline. Holy shit.
Conor, can I ask you, what was your thoughts in that six-man tag team match?
All I can say is the match was fucking incredible, and the storytelling, oh boy, it is still on point.
Yeah.
See, I didn't actually expect the win to go to the Bloodline, even though I did kind of say that in my predictions that was going to be the case. Because I did say I think that the Bloodline were going to win, but it blew up in their face because we had a super kick that missed an accident from Jimmy Uso. The one key word there, it was Jimmy Uso making the mistake, not Jay. He kicked Jay, which is the main focus. Jay is the one that is the main focus in this Bloodline splitting up story.
Here's the thing. And the SmackDown before, Solo Sikoa said, I'm going to do my part. y'all better do yours. And so I thought that since, Solo was looking at the Usos weirdly, and I thought that there was going to be a betrayal because Solo and Jay kept like slapping each other as hard as they could just to tag themselves into the match to prevent the other person from doing their move, and that's the part I love. And you were right, Jim Uso made the mistake by super kicking Jay, and Solo Sikoa almost hit the Samoan spike on Jay. I felt like at that point that he really wanted to, but for some reason he didn't. But in the end,
I know the reason, because at the end of the day, he still is the brother, and he wants to try and keep. He's like not the gatekeeper, the peace.
Come on, we all know that brothers hate each other.
Sometimes they fight, but in this case, this is building up the seeds, as you said, Conor. It's planting the seeds.
I just don't want to wait any longer. Because I feel like I guess you're right. Because at the end of the day, Solo is their brother, and I feel like Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns are gonna get mad at Solo Sikoa because he's the one who actually isn't doing his part either. So I feel like I don't. Here's the thing: as much as Paul Heyman could do, kick the Usos out the bloodline, I feel like it mainly could be Roman Reigns because when Roman Reigns returned at SummerSlam, in 2021 to win the Universal title, was it 2021? No, it was 2020. He returned at SummerSlam of 2020 to win the Universal title, and then his first ever feud at the start of his reign was Jey Uso.
Yeah, it was, and I think it's going to end with Jey Uso. I think it's going to be Jey Uso. That's going to be the one to say, okay, Sami Zayn was right. I couldn't trust, he's not going to say, he's not going to side with Sami completely. He's going to, basically, in my opinion, it'll be Solo that does the break. He will be the one that breaks up the Usos by kicking them out, because I think Roman will give the order to Solo. Solo might hesitate, but will do it anyway. And unfortunately, Conor, you was a bit wrong on our predictions because you said it has to happen at Backlash, but it didn't.
And here's the thing: as much as I don't think it's gonna happen, but I don't think that this could happen. I don't know what the possibilities are because it could be Cody Rhodes who does it. But maybe Jey Uso could be the one to dethrone Roman.
Well, Conor, he said the word Cody Rhodes. Do you want to go on from that?
And, well, speaking of Cody Rhodes, here comes the actual main event, and not the double main event.
Hold on, can we talk about that? What the hell is a double main event, and why did they decide to do that?
Fucking no.
Carry on.
Yeah, maybe they couldn't decide what the main event was gonna be, but why did they decide to do a double main event? What the hell even is that?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Wait, before this conversation turns into a video of itself, and we spare Dan more editing time.
Oh, shut up.
Jesus.
Next, the final match is Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar.
Tell me, what was your thoughts on that match, Conor?
All I can say is Cody Rhodes has definitely proved himself and has written another chapter in the story.
Yeah, it's not quite over yet, but I will agree with you, Conor, that it's not quite over yet. And he actually did a lot more than I thought he was going to do. He attacked Brock Lesnar before the match with steel chair, steel steps. I genuinely thought he might have put him through the table as well, but that wasn't to be.
Yeah.
I like one thing that made me laugh is that he was whacking away with the steel chair, and then he just dropped the chair, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta go back in the ring with the steel chair," and then it escalated from there. And guess what, guys? When I saw Brock Lesnar get his head slammed into that exposed turnbuckle. Guess what catchphrase?
He
Guess
was
what?
bleeding like a stuffed pig.
Yes, it was. That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh my god,
Dude,
he's bleeding like a stuffed pig.
All I could say about this is that I don't know what I was expecting, and I don't know what Brock's gonna do with his career, but he got absolutely buried. He got squashed.
No, he didn't.
Rhodes destroyed Brock.
No, he didn't. Are you mad? Did you not see those German suplexes and the suplexes and everything in between? Or did you go and get your pizza rolls too?
No, I saw everything.
That was not a burial, my friend. That was a Brock Lesnar match. It has to be. You can't go over than 5 minutes in a modern day Brock Lesnar match. We all know this. And also, you know. Sorry, Conor. You know what? I'll speak in a minute. I'm not like Jaxson. I'm not going to interrupt you. What was you going to say?
Oh, shut up!
I don't know why, but in the middle of the match, I thought that Cody and Brock were going to reenact it from 2013 or 14 SummerSlam. Where Brock and Undertaker suddenly sat up and started laughing at each other. I don't know why, but when Brock started bleeding, I thought for a split second they were going to reenact that.
I could see that would have been funny to see.
Wow.
That would have been funny to see, to be honest. But I must admit, he got a lot more offense in than I thought he did Cody. He hit disaster kick after disaster kick. He even hit a Cody cutter without the springboard and with the springboard. I like that. That was a good touch. And 2 crossroads was not enough to take him down. But he did outsmart Brock Lesnar in the end.
That he did.
That he did, you're right. So, because he had the Kimura locked in tight, and I thought, this is the end. He's going to pass out or tap out, one of the two. But no, he rolled him up, put the shoulders on the ground, 1, 2, 3. So that is the mistake a lot of these submission guys make when they've got their shoulders on the ground. If they know that their back is on the ground, the one thing I never understand on why they just won't let go, because they got the shoulders on the mat.
Yeah.
But overall, I must say, congratulations to Cody Rhodes for outsmarting the Beast. And you're right, Jaxson, we don't know what's going to happen with Brock Lesnar now, but I think he's going to move on to bigger and better things. Who knows, he might defeat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, God. I would love to see that.
So now I'm going to ask the age-old question when I do those reviews. Out of 5 stars and 2 thumbs up, tell me, what do you guys rate it? Conor, you first.
0.9 stars and 2 thumbs up.
Jaxson?
Out of 5, I'd probably give it like a 4.5 and like 2 thumbs up, I guess.
I would admit there was probably one thing I was disappointed. A couple of things I was disappointed on, with the Rhea Ripley match being one of them, and the very first match, the Bianca match. So with that being said, 3.5 stars and 1 thumbs up for me, because it was great, but not as great as the last few pay-per-views that we've had. But hey, you know what? In my universe, FAW, Conor, you're a champion. And you know what, Jaxson, in real life, I feel like you would make a great champion. Knowing how much you're training to be a WWE wrestler by doing this amateur business. And speaking of champions, that's exactly what's going to be happening next. In the next pay-per-view, it's Night of Champions. We're going to crown a new World Heavyweight Champion, which has confused a lot of people, including myself, but hey ho, whatever happens is gonna happen. Night of Champions is next. Are you guys
May 27th.
Yep, are you guys looking forward to it?
Yes. And here's the thing. At first, when I thought that Night of Champions was going to be a pay-per-view, I was like, This is awesome. We're going to have every title defended in one night, which means we're going to get Gunther and Roman performing in the same night. But it doesn't look like Roman is performing since we're getting crowned a quote-unquote new World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see that. And Conor, are you going to be looking forward to seeing Night of Champions?
There's only going to be one problem I'm going to be worried about when the pay-per-view comes.
And what is that?
Whether or not Roman is going to have his eyes capturing the third title. Because basically, I think Roman's at that point for his character to be the cockiest son of a bitch on the fucking WWE.
Well, here's the thing. Notice how I said quote unquote new World Heavyweight Champion.
Because there's been a World Heavyweight Champion in the past?
Yeah, and I don't think this is going to count as a real title.
I could do. I mean, it might be a short-lived one. I think it'd be I think that Seth Rollins could easily be a person to win this championship alongside
Here's what I'm thinking.
Cody Rhodes as well.
Here's what I'm thinking. At Night of Champions in the main event to crown a quote-unquote new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, it'll be Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
That could be a good possibility.
And maybe in the tournament, Seth could beat Cody.
Yeah, I personally think it should be in the final to get that actual win after losing to him 3 times. So I've got either Seth Rollins or Cody Rhodes to win that championship. You said Seth, didn't you, Jaxson?
Yeah, Seth or Drew, but mainly Seth.
What about you? Who do you think? Who have you got to win the championship, Conor?
Go with Seth.
Seth all the way for all 3 of us. Well, then in that case, I hope you guys enjoyed Backlash. Feel free to let me know in the comments and who you think, what you guys thought of Backlash, and until next time for the WWE United Champions predictions, and then I will later on review the United Champions. It is a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from me.
Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, click on the Master Chief icon to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to watch the previous video, click on the one on the left. If you want to watch the playlist, click on the one on the right.